Here you go. How about this? Boom. By the way, don't forget Caleb and Brown is your one stop for crypto brokerage. And we have our first interview coming up. It's a live interview with Mr. Jim Zani. Mr. Jim Zani from Caleb and Brown. And he is a smashing gentleman you will come to see. He is good enough to come on and give us an interview. The dude's awesome. You're going to see. You're going to love this too, by the way. Actually very knowledgeable. By the way, Mr. Jim, venture to say more knowledgeable than I on crypto. The guy knows a lot about, he would need to doing what he's doing. He knows a lot about crypto. Very interesting. Let's get some enlightenment from Jim when he comes on the episode, which is coming up August 18th, Monday at 5. I do believe it's 5:30 Mountain Time here in Colorado. Monday, August 18th. Please tune into that because you're going to love Jim. He's awesome. He really is. You're going to see. Anyway, let's get into the episode today. I say that about certain people, and there's certain people I think I might downright just bash, and I don't think that's right. Let's be nice to everybody, but yes. Let's not play favorites, but Jim is awesome. Crypto market 3.76 trill and a 68% Greer and Freed fear and greed index. Just dipping a couple points below 70, where it's been hanging at for the past few days. Bitcoin is coming in at 118,583 for your one Bitcoin. Your Ethereum's coming in at 3,164 for those who use for those who use holding Ethereum. If you're from Pennsylvania, you'd say yins, and if you're Italian, you'd say yes, and you'd say yeets if you're like from another down home spot in the Northeast. XRP is at $2.96. I'm not watching this guy swipe. The attention span of the world is about a 2 on a meter of 10, being the best. Who's the guy who went in? Was it Carnegie? Who's the guy? Come on. Somebody help me. Sometimes my wife watches. She knows the answer to this. I think it's not Dale Carnegie, is it? Might be Dale Carnegie. Anyway, he was brought in front of Congress, and they said, you know what? You're cheating. There's no way you can make this much money in such a short period of time being an honest American entrepreneur like this. This is impossible. You can't do this. Like, it's too much money. You're cheating. You're frauding somehow or whatever. And no, he said, nope, I'm not. Here's all the paperwork. Everything's there. The deal is why you're seeing this as such an impossible feat is because you can't focus your attention with laser focus for more than just but maybe a minute or so, and you can't get to the end of things in that way. The end of problems and situations, and in such a masterful way that he did, was able to produce gobs of money, gobs. By today's standards, probably would be a trillionaire. But anyway, who is that guy? Somebody dropped that in the comments. Who had to testify in front of Congress that he wasn't defrauding the people or whatever it is, and that he instead was performing honest work, and told Congress that the reason why they can't do it and why they're so amazed is because they can't focus for more than like a minute. True story. He said that to Congress. All right. What if I told you here that the ODL solution is very much tied to Quant Network and more? So we say, oh, what do you mean, Frank? It's tied to Quant? Like, how so? Quant, what is Quant? Quant's a quantum computer, isn't it? All right, we're going to get into what Quant is. Quant's network Overledger is what we're specifically referring to. Particularly, a lot of people have a problem with that word. Why? Particularly. Not particularly, Lara, particularly. All right, here's the deal. What is XRP and what is ODL? What the hell is it? That's what I want to know. That's what you would want to know. We know on the channel. We've covered enough, but on-demand liquidity is basically this express lane that gets rid of these Nostro Vostro accounts that are pre-funded accounts to the tune of about $27 trillion across the planet for all these institutions to instill trust in each other and say, hey, you know what, Bank A, you want to send money to Bank B? Boom. You're going to need to have that that account pre-funded called Nostro Vostro. Nostro's Latin for nostro meaning ours and vostro meaning theirs. And these are ours in their account that instill trust and make sure the money's in there. So when we write text to each other, they can clunkily take 3 to 5 days to settle through the SWIFT banking system, which is the Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunications, which I know we say these things in the episodes over and over again, but there are newcomers and they don't know this stuff. And some of you, please, very kindly, might not know some of these things I don't know. I don't want to talk down because you probably know more than me. Gotta be careful. A lot of my listeners, I'm sure, know more than I do about this stuff. They're just watching me because they might think I'm funny or something. Seriously, they're not gleaning anything new from me. They know more than I do about crypto, which is awesome. So it essentially eliminates these Nostro Vostro traps, and hats off to you folks who have learned crypto to such a heightened degree. This eliminates the Nostro Vostro traps, billions of dollars sitting in foreign accounts. It's really, I think, about 27 trill. And then RippleNet, Ripple's banking network, as you well know, already connects 300 plus banking institutions and growing. Now, we've had a number of 300 plus guys, how long are we going to say 300 plus? We've been saying that for like 300 years. Like, really? Do you think it's around 300? Come on. It gets me so frustrated at the silliness of the world. Like, I find myself parroting things that people are parroting, such as Ripple's partnered with 300 plus financial institutions. What, did they just stop signing people up a long time ago? No, they've been signing tons up. It's not 300. So when we say flip the switch, this is one of the other metrics that ties into this measure, this assessment, this extrapolation, this best guess with crystal ball based on past knowledge. Yeah, right? Come on, guys. Put this together. Put your thinking caps on now. You can do this thing. Never financial advice on the channel, by the way. And don't forget to tap that like and subscribe down below. Let's think about this. If we've all been saying for the past 2 or 3 years, don't worry, we're still on today's topic. Relax. He never goes to the topic. He's always talking about other stuff. All these comments. It's like, if you have no attention span, I'm not talking down. I'm saying literally get the hell off the channel. I don't want anybody on the channel who can't deal with this stuff. You're not meant for crypto. Because then what you're going to try to do. You could try to go ahead and try to put somebody into crypto and you can lose your shirt. And I don't want people doing that. You know what I mean? Stay away from this stuff. You don't know what you're doing. Stay the hell away from this stuff. Never financial advice. You don't buy or sell anything because what I say. I'm telling some people that, look, here's the deal. Somebody wise once told me, and you know who you are. What up, Gabe? Yeah, not everybody is meant to travel the Oregon Trail. Or Oregon, if you're from that area. It's Oregon. The Oregon Trail. Not everyone is meant to travel out to the Wild West. Yeah, not everyone's meant to get into the covered wagon and go do that. It's not for everybody. It's a dangerous trek. Lots of people get wrecked in this trek. Wasn't trying to rhyme. It was just there. Guys, do you really think it's 300 financial institutions? It's been like 2 or 3 years we've been parroting this crap. 3 to play. Oh, they just stopped. Almost, it's probably about freaking 10,000. No, it's probably about 5,000. Calm down, Frank. This guy yelling in the mic. I get the best comments, man. People are fantastic. They're good. They're good comments. Somebody said, "Hey, stop breathing heavily into the microphone." I said, "Ooh, nice point. Sorry." Somebody else said, "I don't want to watch this man bun scream at me," or something. Okay, see ya. For the people who love this, and by the way, have I been going this whole time now? I'm How about that? Yep, we're back on. We're back. Oh, still no sound? Or are we back on now? Let's see. How about that? Okay, we are back on. We're back on. Sorry guys, thanks for bearing with us. We're back on with the with the MacBook mic, which isn't so hot. Thanks, Prit. Appreciate you very much, and thank you very much, Doug, and thanks, Marn. Sorry guys. God, I'm sorry guys. You know this is gonna get better as time goes on. Let's get back to let's get that turned off. Yeah, this is gonna get better with time here, guys. What I'm going to do is not go back to the share screen because I think that's when it keeps doing it. Is when I try to share my screen, it kills the sound. So, and I don't know why, but we'll get worked out with Luke, which is our version of. Not that we're comparing, but everybody knows Rogan's Jamie. Luke is our version of that. We're not saying we're Rogan or anything. All right, here's the deal, guys. Quant Network, guys. I'm gonna have to revisit this because what a pisser. Because I'm not supposed to swear. Sorry. No more cussing on the channel. We vowed to not be cussing anymore. It turns people off and it turns me off, and there's a better way to be interesting. Okay, let's get back to this, guys. Here's the deal. Ripple's ODL connected with Quant Overledger. People who want to know this right now because you don't hear anybody talking about this. I'm not saying that for ego's sake. I don't know why nobody's talking about this. I want this to be covered, please, more by folks. And please, guys in the community, Doug and Pritt and folks who are in here, please, would you mind, do a little research, find out if you have any time in your lives, please, and help out, and we will too, to find out what the deal is with the the connection with ODL, on-demand liquidity, and the Quant Overledger, the actual Overledger that Quant uses. Let's get into what all that is and what it means. Everybody knows, and I'm revisiting this because I'm pretty sure I did not have a sound when I did this. Sorry, guys, earlier. But basically, on-demand liquidity is like the fastest express lane for money that we all know. You want to send dollars over to Thailand or whatever and convert, you can do it quickly in 3 to 5 seconds for pennies, 0.00001 per XRP. Again, something else that folks are not bringing up. What happens when XRP goes to $1,000 a share? That price, of course, is going to go up if it remains 0.00001 per of an XRP, because that XRP price is going to be way high, like 500 times higher or so. But anyway, if that happens. But anyway, let's get back to this. So, Nostra Vostra accounts, we know what they are, and here's what I was expressing before we jump right into the connection with XRPL and Quant Overledger and today's topic here. I want to hear more people please talk about this because I want to know what the deal is with the connection here. We're going to cover some of it here today. You can think of the Overledger essentially as a universal translator, basically for finance. Okay, and I don't know specifically about Chainlink, but I'm pretty sure Chainlink is the same thing. And before we jump into it, I said I would do this, and I want to know the answer, please, to this question. If folks could let me know. That we've been saying for the longest time that thanks, Doug, that we've been saying for the longest time that Ripple has over 300 financial institutions signed with them, and we've been saying that for like 3 years, 2, 3. I mean, they didn't stop. Like, come on, it's like I'm guessing it's probably 3,000 by now or 5,000. Drop, by the way, guys, drop me in the comments. If you want to. I don't know if you're just listening to this doing something else, but if you have the availability to drop the comment, would you please give me your thoughts? Because I do want to know what folks who come in here, like Pritt, I think I've seen you before, but Doug in particular has been in many times. What's up, Doug? And we appreciate your support. And Marnie's been in here many times, and I'd like to know what you folks think about the connection. I don't want to say revelation, but the connection revealed of XRPL and Quant. Here's the deal. We know that XRPL settles in 325 seconds, and we also know that the Quant Overledger is basically a universal translator for finance. Most folks know that. It basically speaks all the languages of Ethereum, Bitcoin, Hyperledger. Hyperledger, is that XLM? No, that's the bridge with, that's the IBM bridge. I'm confusing two things. Hyperledger, Corda, and yes, it supports XRP Ledger natively. Yeah, it natively supports the XRPL. So that's all been confirmed, and they have Ripple XRP SDK built into their stack already. Does the Quant Overledger? So they're ready to go. They're when I say intimately tied, I mean they're turned on with them, ready to go. Sorry for talking like that. It's annoying. So when a bank wants to initiate a payment in a private Corda network, and first, the bank gets set up with XRPL or ODL first, and I keep saying it can be as fast as 3 weeks to get set up with the stuff. It's about 8 weeks or so. It's a couple months to get the systems loaded up and everything and be ready to interface. But the APIs, but then it takes usually about 3 months or so to fully integrate with the ODL solution or so, which is pretty fast as far as integrating APIs with banks goes. Folks who have any knowledge of that will tell you that that's really fast, and that's crucial, right? You want to set up quickly and move on quickly with this stuff. And here's where it gets very, very nice. Quant's founder, Gilbert Verdian, which I'm sure you folks have heard of, created the ISO blockchain interoperability standards being used by central banks today. I bet folks did not know that. That's not a theory. That's true. That's real stuff. They have the global financial plumbing set already. Yeah, so Gilbert Verdian, of course, another genius, Quant creator, Quant founder. And here's how they work together, guys. Here's the crux. By the way, don't forget to please tap that like and subscribe if you're new on the channel. It does help us out a lot. It's a small payment. Thank you. We appreciate it. And don't forget to tap our Caleb link down below as well, so that you can see what the deal is with Caleb and Brown and why. And by the way, we have our Caleb interview coming up with Jim from Caleb. Jim Berzani from Caleb, and I hope I'm saying his name properly. I believe I am. That is coming up August 18th, Monday, 5:30 Central Time, 5:30 p.m. Central Time here in Colorado. And it's our first live, it's our first interview, essentially, and it's coming up live. And it's very important to us, so please tune into that. But let's continue here. You got Ripple, which equals the liquidity engine, essentially. XRP is the high-speed settlement rail that zips this stuff super quickly for pennies. 3 to 5 seconds. Quant is the interoperable brain. The Overledger is the network, essentially the network router that's between the chains. That transmits the info and allows them to talk with each other. And it runs between the chains, the banks, and all the apps, this Quant interoperability interledger protocol. So say a UK company wants to pay a supplier in anywhere across the planet. Let's say it's Chile, because it's fun to say instead of chili like you eat, which can be various levels of heat. I did that because it rhymed. I thought it was time to rhyme. Quant Flow, built on Overledger Connect. Oh, I'm breathing into the mic again. Sorry, guys. Quant Flow, built on Overledger, connects their treasury system, their bank's API, and a payment gateway. Then when it's time to settle, Ripple's ODL steps in and performs the rest of the function the rest of the way. Converts the GBP to XRP, sends it, swaps it for Chilean pesos, which happens super fast, 3 to 5 seconds, 4 pennies, not 99 either, very few little pennies, just a few pennies. Pennies that people just toss around, now they're a little moldy, just throw them away, those kinds of pennies, throwaway pennies, which is silly. No, don't throw away those pennies now. This isn't a pipe dream, by the way, guys, this whole thing. This is not just some fantasy that we're whipping up. You know, it's not something that we're imagining. It's real world stuff. It's happening. So this is exactly what Quant's LAC chain partnership in Latin America is doing. Meanwhile, Ripple's already processing ODL payments between Japan and the Philippines, Mexico, Brazil, and many other payment remittance corridors, which I'm sure you're well aware of. So if you got Overledger orchestrating all the pipes in XRP is basically kind of like, I don't want to say what, clearing all the water out, clearing all the water basically, sending all the water. So you got the pipes and you got the water running through it. Security and quantum readiness concerning this whole thing, this whole connection between XRPL and Quant's Overledger. Now, what does Quant bring to the table? One thing it brings, aside from interoperability with its Overledger, is of course its security layer. Security and quantum readiness. Quant's Overledger was stress tested by the Bank of International Settlements, the BIS, which is the central bank of central banks that puts out the mandate to offer all the rest of the banks, including the central bank here, which is the Fed, you know, the Central Bank of Mexico, the Central Bank of Egypt, which Ripple is partnered with, by the way, and etc., 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 etc. And also the Bank of England. So Quant's Overledger was stress tested by the Bank for International Settlements, the BIS, and also the Bank of England, the BOE. And during Project Rosalind is when they did this. Project Rosalind, it was called ROSALIND. And the Quant Overledger did pass the test. It used something called Overledger Authorise, with an S instead of a Z at the end of that word, which integrates with enterprise-grade key management like HSMs. Same stuff used by Swift, by the way, when it performs its messaging. It gets better here. Quant partnered with Quantinuum with two U's together at the end, like vacuum, which I believe is the only word in the English language that has two U's together. Somebody connected together like that. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that. Ooh, trivia point. A joint venture of Honeywell and Cambridge Quantum to generate quantum secure encryption keys. Interesting. They are keys that can withstand attacks from quantum computers, guys. So that's how future-proof this system is here. This is why we like the quantum here. Let's do this. We're almost through with today's topic, but let's do this. Okay, ready? Oh, I know you are. Okay. Remember, somebody in the comments said, stop breathing into the microphone. I said, okay, sorry. All right. Now, okay, there's a house. Whole bunch of XRPs in there. Quant's out here. Banks are over here. Institutions, financial payment institutions are over here. Okay, so you have banks, you have Quant. Banks want to go back and forth with payments here. Uh, but they just can't do it because there's a firewall, a Quant firewall. Quant and the banks are protected with quantum computing. That won't allow hacking by quantum either. Pretty sure not by quantum either. So the banks are going to have to go around. They're going to have to first go through Quant, so they have to do this. And then Quant allows them into XRP and the bank. That's how this works. In a nutshell. I mean, come on. Does it work exactly like that? Essentially, in theory, that's what's happening. Quant is providing through its Overledger network the security. Guys, never financial advice on the channel. Do you think that might be worth something? Someday. I don't know. We're going to wrap her up here and talk about something that nobody likes, but hang on before we do. So let's finish up this security layer here. Quantinuum is a joint venture, like we said, with Honeywell and Cambridge Quantum to generate quantum secure encryption keys here. These keys, they can withstand attacks from quantum. They can withstand attacks from quantum computers. Okay, so essentially, that's this in a nutshell, basically. Please let me know if you have any questions in the comments, guys. If anybody's still back in with us watching, and please go ahead and tap that like and subscribe. Please tap like and subscribe if you don't mind. It does help us a lot on the channel. It means a lot to us. XRP Ledger, if you're getting value out of it. XRP Ledger, fast decentralized settlement, Overledger interoperability, and quantum hardened infrastructure is what we're dealing with here, the security layer. Now, combined these things, a payment system that's basically instant, secure, and future ready against future hacking attempts. And basically, that's what the institutions want. This is what we're looking for. And this is the part that nobody wants to hear: government and CBDC collaborations with Ripple Quant and central banks, central government sitting at the same table. Yeah, I mean, this stuff it's been taking off and increasing at a very accelerated rate here. And I think what we're going to do is wrap her up today because I got more on this. I mean, we could have more episodes on this, covering this, because and that's, I think, what we're going to have to do. Quant's interoperability, infrastructure, Ripple's liquidity solution. We've got XRP is the bridge currency that can settle across the value across these networks. And so these cross-border payments, just kind of wrap it up here. Okay, I mean, we've got so many things here on this that we can cover, including XLS20 and Quant's SATP, Secure Asset Transfer Protocol, if we want to start getting into some particulars on this. I think we'll do that in another episode. Let's wrap her up for today. We've been on long enough. Thanks for helping me with the sound, guys, today. And please don't forget, August 18th, Monday, 5:30, we have our first interview, which is actually a live interview with Jim Berzani from Caleb and Brown. And I do believe I'm saying his name correctly. I better make sure I'm saying that properly. Mr. Jim, I'm sorry, sir. He's awesome, though. We've talked with him before a few times, and he is just a fantastic gentleman and so knowledgeable about crypto. So we're going to learn a lot from Jim, and I'm excited about that. So anyway, thanks for sticking with us today. Thanks for sticking with our, drawn by a third grader or less. Um, Schematics up on the board, and I hope you learned something here today on Crypto Info Blockchain Made Easy with your host, The Tank, and I hope you have the best day today. And you're welcome, Prit, and thank you, Doug, and thank you, Marnie, for joining me in here today and participating also in the comment section and making this thing fun for me so it's not just me up here yapping. Have a great day today, guys. Love you guys all, and I appreciate your supporting me too. Thank you so much. It does mean a lot. Thanks. Have a great day.